Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a massive, frankly frustrating mystery. We're going to uncover exactly why people who work incredibly hard, people who put in the long hours, nail the promotions, literally do everything right, still feel completely stuck financially. We're going to expose these invisible leaks that are quietly draining your wealth right out from under you. And more importantly, we're going to map out exactly how to escape them. Look, have you ever caught yourself staring at your bank account and asking, how am I working this hard and still broke? Let me validate that for you right now. If you've thought this, you are not alone and you're definitely not crazy. We tend to blame ourselves, right? We think we're just not working hard enough, or maybe we're just fundamentally lazy. But the source material we're digging into today makes a really profound point. Most people do not lose money because they're lazy. They lose it because they simply never notice the traps. We're not talking about obvious scams or blowing cash on lottery tickets. We're talking about tiny, everyday financial decisions that feel totally 100% normal, but are secretly keeping you broke. Okay, picture this. It's like you're frantically trying to fill up a bucket with water from a hose, but you're completely ignoring the dozen tiny holes underneath that are slowly draining it. That's exactly how most of us handle our money. We put all our sweat and energy into earning more, trying to pour more water into the top, while completely ignoring the leaks, quietly emptying everything from the bottom. Because here's the truth. The modern economy, it's not actually built to help you build wealth. It's built to keep you spending. Every app, every ad, every subscription is actively competing for your future income, using these tiny normalized decisions to just poke more holes in your bucket. Section 1. The invisible leaks. Let's look at buy now, pay later, for example. On the surface, splitting a pair of sneakers into just 4 easy payments sounds totally harmless, right? But psychologically, something deeply manipulative is happening there. See, when we don't feel that immediate stingy pain of paying full price up front, we spend significantly more. By slicing a purchase into smaller chunks, it tricks your brain. Your brain stops processing it as losing money and starts seeing it as manageable. And that is exactly why someone who would firmly say no way to a $400 upfront expense will suddenly buy 3 different things just because the monthly payment feels so small. So the real antagonist here is modern consumer culture. It's created this totally frictionless economy. You tap your phone, one-click checkout, auto-renewing subscriptions, monthly payments, free trials, you name it. Think about it. Years ago, handing over physical cash actually hurt a little bit, right? You could literally see your wallet getting thinner. But today, everything is intentionally designed by companies to remove that friction. They've made spending completely invisible. Your money just silently disappears through screens, which perfectly sets the stage for our next big trap. Section 2. The psychology of modern spending. Let's get real for a second and think about your own emotional spending triggers. Have a stressful day at work? Boom, you shop. Feeling unmotivated? Food delivery. Feeling insecure? Time to upgrade the phone. Bored out of your mind? Hello, Amazon. Modern spending often has absolutely nothing to do with what we actually need. It's emotional self-medication. As the source material points out, we aren't just buying products anymore. We're buying relief, comfort, identity, maybe a little hope. We're buying a temporary dopamine rush that makes it feel like life just improved. Well, right up until the credit card bill hits and all that stress comes rushing right back. And this is exactly why simply making more money doesn't save you from the cycle. Look at a $50,000 earner versus a $200,000 earner. You probably assume the person making $200K is automatically wealthy. But the wild truth is, earning money and keeping money are completely different skill sets. Someone making 50 grand can absolutely build serious wealth, while the 200 grand earner can easily be living paycheck to paycheck, totally financially fragile. Why? Because of a silent trap that scales right up with your salary. Enter the trap of lifestyle inflation. This happens when your spending magically rises every single time your income rises. So you get a raise, right? Awesome. Now you get a nicer apartment, then a more expensive car, then the premium subscriptions. The thing is, humans adapt incredibly fast. Give it 2 months and that expensive new car just feels normal. Your upgraded lifestyle becomes your new baseline reality, making your new normal dangerously expensive. So that big raise actually changed nothing for your net worth. You still feel broke. You still panic about bills. You just happen to have nicer stuff. Section 3. The status and debt trap. Check out this number, $899 a month. This perfectly highlights the total deception of modern financing. If I told you to buy a $70,000 truck, that sounds financially crazy to most people. But companies know that. They know if they can shrink that massive, terrifying price tag into an emotionally justifiable monthly payment, like $899, suddenly people will talk themselves into it. We've been trained to think entirely in monthly payments instead of the total cost. And once your brain switches to monthly thinking, you stop asking the most important questions about your money. The source material drops a really heavy truth here. It says, debt is future time sold away. Every payment represents future work already promised to someone else. Think about that for a second. The absolutely crucial takeaway is that debt isn't just a math problem, it's a freedom problem. The more of your future income you owe to someone else, the less flexibility you have. Debt is what traps you in a job you might hate. It keeps you terrified to take risks. And ironically, it destroys the exact freedom and peace of mind that actually brings true happiness. Which brings us to a massive mindset shift we have to make. The difference between looking rich and actually being rich. Especially now in the social media era, we're bombarded by a 24/7 psychological attack of comparison. People are out there performing wealth with luxury cars and perfect aesthetics, but what you don't see is the crushing debt and the stress behind those perfectly curated photos. The guy driving the luxury car might literally be sinking in debt, while the person driving a 10-year-old used Toyota might own investments that are quietly generating passive income. Real wealth prioritizes ownership and assets over signaling status to strangers. Simply put, rich looking is not the same as being rich. Section 4. Building real wealth. Okay, so what's the escape plan? Step 1 is wrapping your head around opportunity cost. Every single dollar you spend has a hidden second cost attached to it, what that money could have become if it were invested for the future. So a $200 impulse purchase isn't just $200 gone today. Wealthy thinkers see the future possibilities being traded away. That $200 could have been invested, it could have slashed your debt, it could have literally bought you future freedom. When you start viewing your money through this lens, your behavior dramatically, almost instantly changes. To actually put this into practice, the source suggests asking yourself 3 brutal but necessary questions before you hit buy. Number 1, am I buying this for usefulness or emotion? Number 2, would I still want this if absolutely nobody else saw it? And number 3, is this helping my future or stealing from it? Now, these might sound like simple questions, but trust me, they are incredibly powerful. They cut right through all the slick marketing noise and expose the actual financial truth behind your impulses in a matter of seconds. All right, once you've built up that awareness, you have got to lock it in by building strict financial systems. We're talking automatic investing, automatic savings, spending limits, and rock-solid emergency funds. Why do we need to automate all this? Well, because humans are emotional creatures. If you rely purely on willpower or a burst of motivation, I guarantee you will eventually have a bad day and fall right back into an emotional spending trap. Good financial systems protect you from your own temporary emotions. Because at the end of the day, financial success is way less about raw intelligence and far more about consistent, automated behavior. We've covered a ton of ground today, and I want to leave you with this final, really profound thought from the text. Money doesn't usually disappear all at once. It disappears quietly. One tiny impulse, one monthly payment, one little lifestyle upgrade. Look, escaping these invisible traps might feel kind of lonely at first, mostly because everyone around you is probably still caught up in them. But the people who build real, lasting wealth, they learn to spot these tiny leaks before they turn into heavy chains. So I'll leave you with this. What invisible leak is quietly draining your bucket right now? And what system are you going to put in place today to finally patch it and reclaim your future freedom?